everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to this week's episode of Uncloaked. This week I'm going to be making a video that will fulfill a lot of requests that I've been getting. I've been getting a lot of questions about what the Akashic Records are and what it means to be an Akashic Records practitioner. So this week I'm going to share with you all what the Akashic Records are, how you read the Akashic Records, how I became a certified Akashic Records practitioner and how you can become one, and just what it means to be an Akashic Records practitioner. Okay, so let's get started. So the Akashic Records are oftentimes described as an energetic library of everything that has ever happened on Earth ever. So it's kind of a catalog of every single incarnation that every single soul has ever had. Maybe you've seen or read something about the Akashic Records being a big library. That's not exactly true. It's not a physical, tangible, viewable library. And I know there are a lot of guided meditations where you go to the Akashic Records, and a lot of the time the goal of the meditation is to end up in a place that you see as a library. That's not really accurate or correct. The Akashic Records aren't so much a tangible place or even a place in your mind that you can visualize as a library. It's more so an energetic library. So the Akashic Records have been around since ancient times. There are records of ancient Egyptians working in the Akashic Records, so it's not a new thing. The Akashic Records, though, have been getting a lot of attention lately. We're in this period of time where feminine power is in the middle of being reborn and reignited. So there are a lot of people, not just people, but especially women, seeking knowledge about spirituality and about the universe. And we're in this big awakening period. So the Akashic Records have been getting a lot of attention, and a lot of people have been wanting to learn about them and read the Akashic Records and know more about their Akashic Records and all that stuff. So it's been getting a lot of hype lately. So it's not new, even though it's getting a lot of excitement right now and it's becoming very popular. It's not a new thing. It's been around since ancient times. So the way you work in the Akashic Records and the purpose of working in the Akashic Records is to heal yourself through awareness. So you're not moving energy, you're not changing energies or anything like that like you would with a lot of other spiritual type healings, such as Reiki. Akashic Records work is a little bit different because you're healing through awareness. So if you had a repeating pattern that you are dealing with in your life that you can't seem to stop creating for yourself. You know, we all have those unhealthy patterns that we just relive over and over again, no matter what area of your life that it's in. Then the Akashic Records would be able to help you halt that pattern and move forward from that pattern through awareness. So you could open the Akashic Records and receive information about why you have that unhealthy pattern and why you are clinging to it so intensely. And through that awareness, it'll help you start to shift your behavior and your energies, and you will be able to overcome that unhealthy pattern or whatever it is. So that's how we're doing healing in the Akashic Records, just through awareness. Having the knowledge and the awareness of what is going on can be really, really healing. So there are many ways to access the Akashic Records. For the longest time, the Akashic Records were being accessed strictly through trances. So one would have to be in a trance to be able to read the Akashic Records. But then not so long ago in the 1900s, this woman named Linda Howe, she discovered a way to reach the Akashic Records and read the Akashic Records without going into a trance. So Linda Howe received a pathway prayer. This pathway prayer is used to open the Akashic Records. So you would read this prayer the way it's intended to be read, and then you would be in the Akashic Records. And then there is a closing prayer, and at the end of your reading, you would say the closing prayer and you would exit the Akashic Records. Basically, the way the Akashic Records work, if you're using the pathway prayer found by Linda Howe, is you will say the opening prayer, connect yourself to the Akashic Records, and then you would ask a question or a series of questions. And the questions that you ask cannot be yes or no questions. They can't be time-based because time is not really a thing in the Akashic Records. Time is a human construct. So in the Akashic Records, say if you opened the Akashic Records and you asked, when am I going to get a promotion? Or when am I going to meet the person that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with? You probably won't really get an exact answer. You're not going to get a 2 years from now or on Monday. Like, you're not going to get that kind of answer. It doesn't really work that way. But you could instead ask, how do I help myself achieve my goals more quickly? Or what can I do to attract the person that I am supposed to spend the rest of my life with? So you can ask questions like that to try to move things along a little quicker, but you can't really get a concrete answer on when something's going to happen. But the Akashic Records are great for, like I said before, healing old stagnant patterns that you have. They're really good for understanding things about yourself that you've never been able to understand, because the Akashic Records deals with the fact that our souls have had multiple incarnations and that wounds from those past lives are still lingering. That's really healing. It can help you bring awareness to that sacred wound that you have from past lives. So the Akashic Records is really great for that. And the main aspect of the Akashic Records that is the most healing is the Akashic perspective. So within the Akashic Records, you have this perspective of all beings being divine beings, eternal beings. When we're here on Earth, it can be easy to get trapped in that mindset of being a human. And you can lose sight of the fact that you are a human, yes, but you are a divine being, a soul that is having an incarnation on Earth. So not only am I a human being, but I am also a divine being with a soul. So having that awareness through the Akashic Records that there is more than just being a human being in this life right now, and I am not just my imperfections and my problems and my pain. I am a divine being that is infinite, and so is every single other person on the planet. And that awareness is so, so healing, because it also helps you to realize that all beings are deserving of love, all beings are beautiful and perfect. And that awareness is so, so healing, especially if you've been through a lot, or if you are like me and struggle with mental illness. The Akashic Records give you a perspective that is so, so helpful and healing. And when in the Akashic Records, when doing an Akashic Records reading for yourself or for other people, it's important to remember these 3 things: judge not, fear not, resist not. Those are the 3 things that you really need to remember when you're receiving information from the Akashic Records. And the way that we receive information through the Akashic Records could be a lot of different ways. You can watch my video on ways that you receive psychic information to help you start to discern the ways that you receive information. You might receive things claircognizantly, clairvoyantly, clairaudiently. It could be any of the clairs that you're receiving information through. And you're receiving this information from your masters, teachers, and loved ones. They reside in the Akashic Records, and they aren't so much people as they are just beings, spirits, entities. So you can learn more about what masters, teachers, and loved ones are and who they are in Linda Howe's book, but that's who you're receiving information from in the Akashic Records. So that is the way that I read the Akashic Records. I am a certified Akashic Records practitioner under Linda Howe's certification program. So Linda Howe has 3 books, and there's a 4th in the works. The first book is this one, How to Read the Akashic Records, again by Linda Howe. This is the first book. So if you're looking to start reading your own Akashic Records, or even start reading other people's Akashic Records, definitely pick up this book. This is the beginner. You don't have to have any previous knowledge about the Akashic Records or experience with the Akashic Records, and you can just pick this book up and start reading and learn. So this book is really, really great. I definitely recommend picking it up, especially since the way that I access the Akashic Records is through the Pathway Prayer, which is Linda Howe's Pathway Prayer. And I am not going to teach you how to use it here on my channel out of respect for Linda Howe and out of respect for my teacher, Helen Vonderheide. Because this is something that you have to be certified in. This is something that you have to be certified in if you are interested in reading for others and other things like that. So just out of respect for her certification program and her spiritual work and her books, I am not going to share how the Pathway Prayer works, but you can see how the Pathway Prayer works in this book. So if you're looking to get certified in as an Akashic Records practitioner, there are 5 different levels of certification through Linda Howe's certification program. The first one is beginner Akashic Records Practitioner. The second one is Advanced Akashic Records Practitioner. The third one is Healing through the Akashic Records. The fourth one is Discover Your Soul's Purpose through the Akashic Records. And the fifth one is Manifesting Your Soul's Purposes through the Akashic Records. So I am certified in all of those. They're actually what's on my wall right there, all my certifications. So, and those are all 3-day classes in person with a teacher who is accredited through Linda Howe's certification program. So all the teachers that Linda Howe has teaching these certifications have learned directly from her. So the teacher that I took most of my certification classes from is Helen Vonderheide. She is an incredible teacher. If you have the opportunity to learn from her, definitely jump on it. Like, honestly, if you can, travel to take her class, because she is such a great teacher. She is so insightful and so knowledgeable, and she creates such a safe space for everyone in her class. And in these types of classes, you're doing spiritual work, you're discovering stuff about your soul and about the world and about everyone's soul collectively. So it can be pretty heavy and it can be emotional. And so there are moments where we cry, where we laugh, where we, express deep things. And Helen makes sure that is a safe space for that. And she really nurtures all of her students. And I have learned incredible things from Helen. And honestly, if there was another certification that I could take from Helen, I would. So definitely, if you can, take one of Helen's certification classes. She is mostly based in LA, but she has started to travel around and teach classes. I know that everything that's going on right now with the quarantine has halted some of her classes, but she is teaching a few certification classes online, I think, because some of them have had to get canceled. So I'll leave the link to Helen's website down below and her Instagram, so you can follow her and check out her website to see when and where the certification classes she's teaching are happening, because she's worth it. She's honestly the best teacher I've ever had, like, anywhere across the board, because I had a lot of shitty teachers throughout my life, and she is a great teacher. I did take one certification class from Linda Howe herself, the final certification, Manifesting Your Soul's Purposes. I took that from Linda Howe herself. So if you have the opportunity to do that, that's super fun also. But definitely check out Helen's website, because Helen is a gift and a blessing. We always joke, me and my friends, that we all took all of our certifications together throughout all of 2019. We always joke that we're going to get Helen fan club jackets. So I haven't forgotten Helen. We're getting those jackets. So that's if you're looking to get certified in the Akashic Records. But if you're looking to just learn how to read your own Akashic Records and do divination for yourself through the Akashic Records, then maybe pick up this book and just read it for yourself. And you can pick up Linda Howe's 2 other books. There are 3 total, and she's working on a 4th. And they're all great, and they all have different exercises in them that you can do in the Akashic Records. They teach you how to use the prayer and all about what the Akashic Records are. They're really, really helpful and really, really great reads. So I definitely recommend picking them up. So pick up this book and start reading your own Akashic Records. Practice a bunch and see how you like it. So that is the basic information about the Akashic Records and how you can learn to read your own Akashic Records. I hope that you guys pick up this book by Linda Howe and start learning how to use the pathway prayer. The Akashic Records have been one of the most healing things for me since I started learning them, and if you're feeling called to the Akashic Records, it's for a reason. So definitely start reading your own Akashic Records, learn how to use the pathway prayer from Linda Howe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, and please subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. I post witchy spiritual videos every Friday and random fun nonsense on every Tuesday, so subscribe so you don't miss any of those future videos. And check out my past witchy videos. I've accumulated quite a few at this point, so check them all out. I've talked about lots of different topics so far, so definitely check those out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.